Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about introductions into Warhammer 40k, what armies to get, some of the brief lore about them, and some of the first units that you should buy to start your collection. When I was first getting into the hobby, I didn't know much about it, so now that I do, I want to share my insight on the armies themselves and of all the lore that I know, as well as the buying guide that I would go with going into the future of this hobby. When I first started, I started with Space Marines, and to be honest, as much as I love them today, at the time I didn't like them as much and I would have preferred starting with Chaos, but I digress. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Adeptus Custodes, the bodyguards of the Emperor. I'm going to be talking about some of their lore, some of their tactics, and what to buy with the first couple of purchases for your Adeptus Custodes army. I'm going to try to keep this simple and try to keep it under $100 for initial buying armies because, well, it's probably going to be that regardless. Now, let's talk about some lore for the Adeptus Custodes. The Adeptus Custodes predate pretty much everything the Imperium stands for today. They come from the Golden Age of Technology or the Age of Strife, or not the Age of Strife, the Golden Age of Technology or during the Unification Wars, depending on what source you go by. During the Unification Wars, the Emperor himself, after meeting with Malcador the Sigillite, had these guys standing by his side along with the Sisters of Silence, which made up the Talons of the Emperor. I will get into the Sisters of Silence in a future video. The Adeptus Custodes stand loyal to the Emperor first and foremost. They are his royal bodyguards as well as his most devastating warriors. One custodian can easily take out 10 Marines without even breaking a sweat unless their name is Nathaniel Garrow, in which case they lose. Anyway. The Adeptus Custodes stood guard over the Emperor himself after the Emperor was defeated by Horus, who was also defeated, but after he was defeated and put on the Golden Throne, the Custodians donned black armor and stood by his side up until more recent history, where Guilliman ordered them to once again go out into the Imperium and save the Imperium itself. The Adeptus Custodes usually go out as one-man squads, but typically do not go out as full warbands. This is why they make an excellent allied force, and I will get into that also. The Adeptus Custodes favor mid-range to close-range combat, with their pretty fast movement aside from their base infantry, with their jet bikes, as well as the Vinatari. They have very fast-moving units. They can also teleport across the battlefield using From Golden Light They Come, and they are one of the most survivable Imperial armies there is. Their base toughness is, well, pretty high, and I think it's actually it's T4, T5 across the board. The Custodians themselves make up a very, very devastating army once they get into close-range combat, but a mediocre long-range army as they don't really have much of that. Aside from their Forge World counterparts, which we are going to not look at Forge World for the time being for the sake of these videos. If you want a Forge World guide, please comment in the comment section down below. I would love to do a video on them. But what makes the Custodians a good army choice? Well, the Custodians don't have a lot of units, and the units that they do have are very elite, high in points, and very survivable. This is excellent for a beginner of the game themselves because they don't need to know too many different weapons as well as too many different strategies rather than just going across the board and killing their opponent. When it comes to the Custodians, one of the few examples that I would give for buying an army itself for under $100 would probably be along the lines of boop. We will load everything up. Do not buy a Land Raider. They are a waste of points. Do not buy this giant collection. It is a waste of points. And most of their stuff you'll see in multiple sections doing multiple different things. This is where the Custodians shine. See, their army, their HQs can be in any type of armor, whether it just be the Custodian Guard armor, the Terminator armor, a jet bike, or if you want to buy their special character, which is right here, Trajan Valoris. But you don't even need to buy him. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the things that you should get. And it's pretty simple because there's not much to select. You should get a Custodian Guard squad. In fact, the army's pretty much 2 of these for now. That gives you 10 custodians. So you use 9 of them for your troop choices. That's 3 troop choices and 1 HQ, being a shield captain. As you progress into your collecting purposes, let's just say that you want to do a patrol detachment for the time being. This way you can get one of the banner bearers, one of the guys being made into a shield captain, and then you have, 5, 10, 9, 8 guys to be in 2 squads of 4. It is an excellent start to the army, very quick, and then from there I would expand onto getting jet bikes, as well as maybe some of the Terminators. The Terminators are a rather weaker choice, in my opinion, than the jet bikes themselves. Pretty much what you want to do with the Custodians is spam these 2 units right here. Getting anywhere from 3 to 6 bikes is an excellent start. Getting 9 bikes is a little bit better because you can use 2 of them as shield captains on Dawn Eagle jet bike, which is an excellent choice for an HQ. And you would have enough of these guys to walk up the board, or from Golden Light they come and deep strike onto the board. Deep striking means that you can land anywhere on the board that is more than 9 inches away from your opponent's army, or a unit from their army, effective turn 2, meaning turn 1 they are not on the board. The shield captains also are masters of close combat and give buffs to your units as long as they are within 6 inches of him, allowing them to reroll 1s on the hit roll for dice when rolling for their attacks in both shooting and close combat. This combined with their 2+ ballistic and weapon skill, meaning that on everything they hit on 2+ across the entire board for their entire army, which makes them a solid choice for a beginner because of how easy the learning curve is. Once you have your 2 Custodian Guard squads, you turn one of them into a shield captain, one of them into a banner bearer, and then the rest into guard as you see fit. Personally, I would put 1 shield in each squad and the rest with spears. Now, I do also know that this goes over the $100 limit, but with the Custodians, unfortunately, you're stuck with higher prices, so I do apologize about that. Now, for Codex, you'll eventually get it, or you can use Battlescript. Just saying. If you have any questions about combat tactics and things of that nature, please contact me by either putting a comment in the comment section down below or sending me a private message on Twitter or Facebook, or you can join my Discord. Discord is an excellent way of keeping in touch with me and my community. My community is very open and accepting and loves teaching new players new techniques, as well as talking about the game itself and being a very open community. While there, you can ask me direct questions, or you can ask some of the people who main this army, meaning that it is their primary army. Custodians are also a very good tournament army in case you are looking for that aspect of this game. But overall, I have to say that the Custodians are one of the easiest armies to learn, and I highly suggest them as your first army. They are a very simple army to paint as well, considering all you need is a gold spray paint and then Seraphim Sepia, and they are pretty much done if you want a tabletop standard. There are more advanced ways of painting your Custodians, but I also think that they're an excellent choice for that reason as well. I personally love my Custodian army. It is one of my favorites. So, with that in mind, I want you to take a look at the links in the description down below. There you can follow me on all sorts of social media, as I mentioned. You can also subscribe using the button that should be right about here, as well as clicking that bell notification so that you can keep up with this series. And as always, be sure to check check out my Patreon. It goes a long way to help supporting the channel and keeping me fed and my lights on. And unfortunately, apparently, to be a YouTuber, I need my lights on. Who would have guessed? Anyway, guys, comment in the comment section down below your thoughts on the beginner's guide to Warhammer 40k. I am doing this for a very brief videos just to get people's attention for the army themselves, so this way they don't make the wrong choice when picking an army. Comment your questions down below and I will read them in a video themselves after I finish all of the armies and get to it. Anyway, guys, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye.